Hello, this is the TradeSight Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, the 17th of May, 2015, and ending Friday, the 22nd of May. Hope you had a good trading week this last week. Here's a look at the dollar index daily chart. We had the 13 sell signal back in April, brought us back to the target line, which is the red static trend line. That's now completed. We bounced off of that briefly, and now we've actually broken that. So negativity for the dollar index, which is fine after a huge run that it had from last August until March here. So a little pullback doesn't hurt. Let's take a look at some of the major pairs that we follow on the daily. Then we'll look at the intra-week action from this last week. Then we'll look at what we have got coming forward this next week. So here's the euro dollar, also reached the static trend line going the other way off of the move. Basically the inverse of the dollar index chart. Here's the pound, out ahead a little bit, and by the way, the pound here is now 11 bars up towards our 13 seeker count, so we could get a sell signal here actually on the pound shortly. Here's the Aussie dollar, hasn't quite made it back to the green static trend line yet. Here's the New Zealand dollar, really hasn't done much at all, banging between the two static trend lines, and we'll show you one cross pair, which is the pound yen, which you can see here looks fairly interesting for a potential breakout. There's no limit on the count so far. I mean, we're at 8, a lot of room still to get to 13 before you get that sell signal. So those are the daily chart looks. Let's take a look now at the intra-day, intra-week action. 30-minute bars, and you can see here the euro dollar opened the week fairly flat, and Monday was very pretty uneventful. 60 pips of range. There were some bank holidays in Europe last Monday. Tuesday, a little more action popped up a bit. Wednesday had a bigger move. Thursday was pretty flat. Friday was uneventful. Nice thing about this is even when we look at what we call uneventful anymore, we did make some money this week, and you still got over 300 pips of range. Remember, we were having weeks of less than 200 pips of range for a while, so this is much improved. Here's the pound dollar, over 400 pips of range here. Bigger move on Monday. UK was not closed. Tuesday had a move. Wednesday, back and forth a bit. Thursday, nothing exciting. And Friday, not really anything exciting. So that's it for the week. I wouldn't say anything massively interesting to show you there. Let's talk about the week to come. What do we got for economic data? So starting today, we've got the Rightmove HPI, Housing Price Index out of the UK. Australia, we've got a speech. We've got new motor vehicle sales, Japan's core machinery orders, and their revised industrial production, along with tertiary industry activity. Retail sales out of Switzerland, Italian trade balance, bank holiday in Canada to start the week on Monday. Housing market index here in the U.S. Then you jump all the way to Monday night. PPI in New Zealand, CB leading index out of Australia, and the minutes from their last monetary meeting, inflation expectations out of New Zealand. Now we're going into Tuesday. Got all the inflationary numbers, the CPI, PPI, and RPI, and HPI out of the UK at 4:30 a.m. Tuesday morning Eastern Time. CPI and ZOO economic sentiment, along with trade balance out of Europe, the broad European sector, 5 a.m. Eastern Time. So that's a lot of data in a 30-minute window from the UK and Europe in general. Housing starts and building permits here in the U.S. Not much else till you get to Tuesday night. Japan's preliminary GDP number. That's actually the start of their Wednesday. Westpac consumer sentiment out of Australia. Europe's German PPI. We've got a bank rate votes, the count out of the UK. We've got ZOO economic expectations out of Switzerland. Canada's wholesale sales. Crude oil inventories out of the US. The minutes from the last Fed meeting are released at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. Sometimes that will move the Forex markets. Visitor arrivals out of New Zealand Wednesday night. Inflationary expectations out of Australia. Flash manufacturing PMI out of Japan. Annual budget release and credit card spending out of New Zealand. That takes us into Thursday. The all industries activity out of Japan. We've got the flash services and manufacturing PMI data out of France, Germany, the broad European sector. Retail sales out of the UK. Current account out of the broad European sector. The minutes from the last ECB meeting. Got the unemployment claims here in the U.S. That's the weekly number. Flash manufacturing PMI. Europe's consumer confidence at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. That's always released at such a strange time compared to Europe. Philly Fed here in the U.S. CB leading index. Existing home sales. The weekly natty gas number, natural gas storage number. Got some Fed members speaking. Got some ECB presidents speaking. CB leading index out of China. Monetary policy statement from the last Bank of Japan meeting. Oh, no, that is their actual statement. So this is the rate announcement out of the Bank of Japan along with their press conference going into Friday. Germany's final GDP for the first quarter. Public sector net borrowing out of the UK, Italian retail sales, a couple more Bank of England members speaking, and then Canada, CPI, US CPI, that's one of our big three. So we'll be half size going into Friday morning with our calls from Thursday night. Retail sales out of Canada, and then more speeches over the weekend. That's it. So we've got the main thing is the CPI. That's our biggest number here in the U.S. this week. We'll be focused on that for Friday. Other than that, looks like pretty much a straightforward trading week. Canada on bank holiday, but we don't trade the dollar CAD a ton on Monday. That's it. We'll be in the lab helping you make money. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. Have a great trading week.